boating adventures. We're down at Ipswich this morning, Ipswich Marina, and the sun's come out for us, so we're quite pleased about that.
Yes, a real bonus that is, because it's November.
And we've come to take a close look at an NC33, a Jeanneau NC33 of course. It's a new model, and we're very excited to go and take a closer look round.
Yep, so come and join us for a close look. NC33, Burton Waters Boats, we're at Ipswich. Great little dealership here, and plenty of boats in the window more especially. Look at that though, isn't that a nice spot? Bit of urban meets water. Stormy grey, but fortunately it's going the other way. And look at this line of boats here. So really good spot to be able to view the boats as well that they've got for sale here. Nice raised ramp there, allows you to get in and around everything that they've got on show. Plus there's also some other boats for sale down in the water here, both new and used. But a lovely spot, and a cafe or two dotted around so you can have a cup of coffee while you're thinking. Well, and look at this fabulous craft, the NC33, brand new, and apart from having a good look round it and a good look through it, this one is also for sale. So if what you're about to see is striking a chord and interests you, then do get in touch with Burton Waters here in Ipswich that have got this NC33, and you can have a really good look around it, particularly while it's out on dry land here. Gives you a good opportunity to have a great look around it. Bow thruster in there. And that amazing V-shaped, really deep V-shaped hull, which give it such good sea handling capabilities. And you can see as well from the outside these lovely long hull windows, which you'll see the effect once we're in that master cabin there at the towards the front of the boat, the effect that gives and the light it brings in. But you can see some of the little opening hatches as well as we go round, and that lovely sort of chromed finish on this NC33 badge there. Obviously some of the water outlets from the boat and the exhaust from the Webasto heating system that you'll see on board. And these two lovely Volvo Penta stern drives, look at those. Not often with a stern drive you get to have a good close look at what's under the water. Lenco trim tabs on this one, and you can see those massive strengthening bars fitted in that obviously allow and support this fantastic swim platform that's on the back of this NC33. And you can see as well, obviously tucked away here, this is your swim ladder, so it just pulls out of here, obviously because of the gangway here we can't, but that obviously just pulls back and then opens out, drops down into the water. And then as you're coming back up your ladder, you can see while we're here it's got a grab handle there, and then obviously these recessed grab handles here, so that's really nice and good to help you get out of your water of choice, be it the rather cooler waters of Pembrokeshire at the moment where we are in Tenby, or of course if you're lucky enough to get this down south to the Med perhaps. Some information up on the screen there, just showing you the size and weight and capacity, fluid capacity of this boat. But doesn't it look fab out on land? Again, those lovely chromed NC33 on the side. The smaller of the two NCs, the NC33 and the NC37, done by Jeanneau. And the NC range is, as you'll see when we head up, got some good separation with the doors there, which make it very much a boat for both this part of the world in the UK and of course in warmer climes down south, with the ability as not only to use the internal doors that go from saloon area to cockpit, but also then to have the canopy, part of which you can see there, but also to have the canopy which encloses the cockpit area completely, and therefore a really good boat this for UK waters as well. Okay, so let's go and have a look inside, and I think you're going to like what you see. A really nice access ramp with all these fabulous boats along here, along the walkway. But this is of course the one we're here to see now. And straight away you get that lovely view into that continuous deck, that lovely teak on the cockpit area, and then almost zero sill, tiny little sill, which takes you into that lovely carpeted saloon area. Really nice flow through the boat here, and of course accessed at the back here by this little closing gate here. You can see as well that obviously there's some runners here, which, as you might have guessed, therefore mean that there is an ability to actually move this whole rear cockpit seat forward. This little infill cushion here is taken out, and then the whole seat moves forward, which then allows this huge expanse of swim platform to be then used potentially either for even more people to come out swimming, or of course somewhere perhaps to stow your dinghy while you're underway. There's also of course a storage area here there we go, lockable as you saw there. But that's a really good sized storage area, and you can just see at the back there's another little door, or the inside of the door, because that obviously means you can access it from the cockpit space itself, particularly if you've got the awning right the way down and you wanted to get something out, then that secondary door into that space allows you to do that. And then immediately next to it as well, this is where your shore power, there's your shore power terminals in there. And again, some more potentially a little bit of storage in there. If your seat's in this backward position, it gives you that little bit of storage at just in front of the cabling there, perhaps obviously to store the cable itself. You can also see here, just on the ends, the quarter there, some little lashing points as well, which obviously would add to that ability therefore to perhaps stow your dinghy. So let's just demonstrate and show you how this seat works at the back here. So we've just taken out that little cushion, and then it's just a matter of coming around the back here and just easing it gently forward like that on those runners, so it makes moving it nice and easy. And there you go. So that extra space it creates, in fact you can see the slight difference in colour. Now you can see exactly how much extra space then you gain on this really lovely swim platform. Okay, let's just move that one back out again. Simple grab onto the handle there and then just move it back. Really easy to slide that back. And then while I'm out here as well, this has also got a second little trick up its sleeve, which is grabbing the bar here and then a lift up there, and then down it goes. So you've now got the makings of what is a really nice extra sun pad at the back here. This then pulls out like that, and then there is another piece of cushion that sits there, which now makes it into a really big sun mattress area. How good is that? Even overlooking Ipswich on a November day, it would be a nice spot, wouldn't it? And then just the reverse of that process to bring the seat back up again, and in it slots into its two little notches, which then secures it nice and tight. So a good little trick up its sleeve at the back there. And then of course, in addition, once you've got your bench seat slid forward, you can see then that this canopy with its zipped enclosures here, obviously the sides are stowed in the boat at the moment, but you can see them with the sides on, and then this in its slightly forward position. Your canopy comes right over the back here, and it just extends that living space, if you like, and allows you to use this area as well if the weather's a bit inclement. You can then have this whole area enclosed at the back of the cockpit space here. Very nice too. And of course in the cockpit space as well, like a lot of those Jeanneaus you'll have seen on our channel, this obviously just pulls out. If you wanted to remove the table completely, the stem and the tabletop itself just pulls out, but of course this does unfold into that lovely teak table, and of course some drinks holders as well there if you want to leave it in its open position. But certainly if you're dining, open it out and a good 4 or 6 people around that table. What a lovely space it would be. Well, you liking it?
It's amazing, it really is amazing. I mean, I know people's choices of whether they get a 1095 Mary Fisher or an NC33 are different. I have to say that in my humble opinion, if I had a choice between the two, I would go for the NC33.
Yes, and you've had the advantage of having a sneak through the interior first, which we're about to do. But yes, I've already had, from a sneak preview we've had, I think I'd tend to agree with you that choice between the 10 and this. Yes.
But, I mean, either boat is fantastic,
aren't they? Yes.
What strikes me with this one is that the design is so contemporary. The colours, you know, the choice of fabrics and colours.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful boat.
It is. Yeah, absolutely right. We digress slightly, but we just had to because it's so lovely, isn't it? And let's show you underneath the cockpit space, where of course those 2 fabulous Volvos are stowed. So up with a cover, which despite its size is very easy to lift because of those gas struts that are under there. I just let it come up gently there. There we go. And there we have them. Look at those two. The D3s, 220s, that are serving those lovely stern drive props that we saw. And of course, as you can see there, a little step down, which allows you to step down in and in fact get to some of those key service points to check for your engines. But also you'll see here, let's get it down a bit lower, you'll also see here that this is like a massive great drawer space here. If I just spin the camera around without falling into the engine space, that they've mounted this storage, a huge storage space on top in effect of the tank there down the bottom, the diesel tank. And as you can see there, you can see that step there, good solid spot to step into the engine bay. Aren't they squeaky clean and new, eh? Absolutely lovely. Fire suppression systems in there, loads of the other boat bits and bobs. And of course, they're what powers this fabulous NC33 to in excess of 30 knots, probably 33, 34 knots perhaps. Very impressive performance for such a big boat. Okay, so let's bring that back down again. I'll show you a bit further inside. Little quarter turn of those catches. And then, as you can see, lockable as well. And of course, with those cushions off, there is, as is traditional with lots of Jeanneaus, a little bit of space under there, storage, using all those available little nooks and crannies for storage. You can see as well that up from the cockpit space, just before we go inside, you can see that lovely recessed LED lighting up the sides. Those are your fuel tank filler there, and then you've also got this great little addition to some of the newer NCs now, which is this little gangway sort of door. Certainly if the back end, for example, of your boat was just a bit inaccessible, perhaps because your pontoon was a little bit shorter, then this gives you another option to get onto the boat. And of course, being near the fuel filler point as well, it might be quite easy to get in and out once when you're getting refueled. You can see as well that obviously the entrance has these lovely three-piece doors, which all slide across here, which means that once you've got this opened out, it goes right the way back and gives you that lovely open feel, particularly where there's only a tiny sill there. It's almost like it's one continuous walkway, but from teak onto this lovely carpeted floor. Switching systems at the back there. These as well, really nicely done with little chrome inlays around the edge there. Obviously it's fitted with European style plugs at the moment, straight from the factory, but those can be converted to UK 3-pin. Really nice carpeted floor as well. And then you can see that there's a little bit of storage under the sofa in the saloon here. A little bit of extra storage for you. And then also, while we're down here, you can see that this, if you just loosen these off, then this actually concertinas down, sort of hydraulic if you like, not electric as such, but just with gentle pressure on the top it pushes down, and similarly with very little pressure it will come back up again with sort of hydraulic assistance. Comes down obviously to this low point here, because as you'll see here round the edge here, you can fit in that sits on this table when it's in its open position like it is at the moment. What would sit on there is an extra piece of cushion, which allows then you to use this lovely L-shaped seating here, becomes then an extra berth. And of course the table itself, if it's not in its full dining mode, can just go into a single little coffee table if you like, at any height. You can height adjust it. Let's just tighten those back up again. You can height adjust it, and you've got some drinks holders there as well. But a really nice L-shaped seating area, and as you've probably seen by the little handle there, this bit also lifts right over, so providing another seat. So let's just get that one lifted back, and there we go. So you can see there that that L-shaped seat has now become a lovely forward-facing seat, as a sort of companion seat if you like to whoever is piloting your NC33. But look at that lovely view out, and so much glass and light that comes in to this saloon space. Really is lovely. And then to reset it, it's just as simple as grabbing the handle and lowering it down into position again. How easy is that? So the galley station, you've already probably caught a glimpse of one or two of the bits and pieces here, but obviously really nice oven set there, some little bit of storage down the bottom there, some of the bits and pieces, bit of ventilation there from the heating system, Webasto heating system, and then just there with a little bit more storage, cutlery tray there, bin storage, and some of your gas controls down there. And a little bit further along, your Dometic fridge. The galley top itself lifts up. Stainless steel sink there with obviously a liftable tap, hot and cold water, double burner, and then this nice stainless steel backing, which just gives you a little bit more heat protection when you're in cooking mode, cooking up some fabulous grub ready to sit out the back and enjoy the views. Moving forward to the helm station itself, as you can imagine, being a brand new boat, absolutely packed with technology. which some of which is really good systems in here. Notable of which, of course, is the joystick control up there for the engines. This is a fantastic bit of kit. Gives you huge manoeuvrability of the boat, not only to the left, to the right, forward and back, but obviously at all points around the compass, if you like. And then also, in addition, with its facility to be able to twist, that enables the boat to literally turn 360 degrees on its axis. So incredible manoeuvrability at slow speed, particularly if you've got a breezy day or you're working against the tide in slow manoeuvring. Then that is an absolutely excellent addition to this NC33. The controls itself for those twin pentas, they've also got their own couple of little additions as well. Trim assist, obviously, that helps you achieve the right planing position, planing speed, perhaps depending on what sort of load you've got on board. You've also got single lever control, which means that once you're underway, and perhaps if you're going a long distance, you can set one of the throttle controls out of the way and just run both engines from the single control, which saves you having to juggle with both controls. And of course, it's also got this little button here, which is cruise control. If I bring the camera just around there, then you can see here you've got the buttons which allow you to just plus or minus there. In other words, you can input very small amounts of speed without using the levers, one increment at a time, 1 knot at a time, to get your absolutely optimum cruising speed by using that cruise control button. Obviously those Lenkos that we saw outside there, controlled port and starboard side, a side power bow thruster that we saw there up at the front, your controls for that. Obviously the multifunction display for your chart plotter and some of your other engine instrumentation, and of course these lovely chromed dials which are looking after your pitch of your drive, your fuel, and obviously battery and other conditions in the engines itself, and of course the rev counters. Switching systems are all very similar. You probably have recognised them, I'm sure, from a lot of our other films on the channel. Your bilges, mid bilge and rear bilge, navigation lighting, your water pump, windscreen wipers and washers, and of course you've got your 12 volt there if you need it. Some of your lighting, horn there, and then obviously the ignition system. This one has also got fitted, again it was an option, but it's also got a chain counter on, so if you are deploying the anchor from here at the helm station, then obviously it gives you an idea of exactly how deep and how far down your anchor is. This one as well, as you may have caught sight as I was coming up towards the helm station there, this has obviously got the controls for the electric sunroof. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? Absolutely lovely. And then if we take it all the way back, in fact I can show you another little trick of this NC33. It's also got, at the helm station here, it's got 2 little hideaway steps, so I can slide this bolt across, and this then comes down to here, which therefore now you can see lifts you up a little bit, which means that not only does it start to act as potentially a step to the outside through the lovely door which I'll show you in a minute, but it also, with this addition as well, it also gives you an ability, if you're tall enough of course, which I just am at 5'11", but gives you an ability to get your head out of the top of the roof. How good is that? And look at that bit of November sun. A good time for it. So yeah, useful little rise there using those steps, and of course it allows you to just hold the lever there and slide open this lovely access out towards access to the bow of the boat. But of course you can imagine if it was not November, if it was a July, August day, even in the UK of course, with the windows you've got here and the addition of course of this slide down window there, you've got that amazing through flow of air in this lovely space. And look at the light as well, even on a November day. Beautiful light space this saloon is. Love it. So while we've got the door open, let's just take you out to the bow of the boat. You can see as well the height of these, really good height. In fact, it's almost at waist height for me, so nice and secure and a really safe way to come up from the cockpit of the boat. Black water tank just down there as well. And there's obviously your freshwater inlet as we go up towards the bow. And then look at the space up here. Of course, you won't be surprised to hear that this slightly recessed area here, this top, has cushions for it, which allow it to become a big sun pad area. Hopefully there's a couple of photos there to just show you with the sun pads on. 2 hatches there, double hatches, which give that tremendous amount of light into the master cabin, which we'll see in a second. And obviously when it's in sun pad mode, the sun pads actually can cover that bit. And then up at the front here, Blumar electric anchor with a little storage area there for your chain and rod, and 1 or 2 other fenders could probably just pop into that space as well. Navigation lights, obviously starboard and port navigation, and potentially, with the release of this, potentially a way to get out of your boat if you were perhaps moored. But look at that, isn't that a lovely profile of the NC33, and of course also, as you can see, slightly different profile down that side, but nonetheless you can actually get down that side. Relatively high guardrails there on the side, on the port side, but obviously not quite as high because of the recessed deck. It's higher that side and therefore a bit more secure if you're walking up and whilst underway. But you've got the rails on the side there, which you can grab onto. So either side, either way, you can access the bow of the boat here. But the slightly wider and recessed bit there, just probably the more secure way to come up. Midpoint cleats as well, so certainly with the ability of that joystick, and the manoeuvrability of that, midpoint cleats gives you the option to actually bring a boat of this size in by yourself. Very manoeuvrable and very controllable. And there, that huge electric roof option. Lovely there, horn on the back, navigation lights. Really nice, love that electric roof option. And then straight back into your saloon space. Isn't that lovely? And closed again. Of course, you might have noticed as well, let's just move these steps out of the way. One there, stows easily back there, and that clip pops in. You might have also noticed, of course, that this bolster cushion can come down as well, which of course allows you to sit up at the helm station here, perhaps with one or both of those steps out to give you a bit more leg support and give you that amazing view when you're underway. Of course, over the other side here, support handles as you're heading down, more drinks containers, more steadying handle there when that seat is in that lovely reverse position, so a grab handle there. And of course you see here that matte finish, and a sort of matte finish on this leathery type to leatherette type material there. That's all to stop the glare from even a November sun, but to stop the glare hopefully in those lovely summer days where you'll be out and about in your NC33. Okay, let's have a look further down then. Really nice wide steps there, plenty of handles to grab onto as you go down. Again, some more lighting switching there. Really nice those, I like those switches. You can see as well with that full length mirror there, it gives that lovely feeling of space as you come down here. But there is a fair bit of space as well. Don't just need a mirror to make it look even bigger. Freshwater that's your gauge there. Webasto heating. You've seen some of the little black vents as we've been going round. That's your full heating throughout the boat, so lovely and toasty, even in winter. And then look what's hiding in here. Second fridge. Same size as that first one that was just tucked away under the helm seat there. But then a really nice storage set here. All these pull-outs for perhaps some of your non-perishables, whatever you may care to store in there. A little bit of extra storage there. Dare I say, might even be a bottle of wine or two. And then into the second cabin. So you can see straight away in front of you there, a little bit of hanging space there. But then also this little mini chair here, which has got itself another lift up lid, yet more storage. Little cubby down there, some nice little reading lights. There's the bolster, that's the piece that goes up onto the into the saloon when it goes down into that extra bed mode. But a lovely long hull window there, isn't it? And look at the light coming in. Can ventilate as well there. Obviously slightly reduced headroom as you work your way down the berth, but there's still a space down the end here as well. If I mooch on down, good little storage space there, perhaps suitcase, bags, the like, and then a little hatch in there which gives you sight there of your black water tank. But really nice with all this sort of recessed LED lighting in the cabins. But you can see that with those hull windows it provides a lovely bit of light as well, natural light. And having been in, as you'll see if you're a regular on our channel, having been in a stack of Jeanneau boats, I have to say that these are some of the squishiest cushions, bed cushions, I think I've ever found in a Jeanneau. So well done to Jeanneau for getting some real good squish on these ones. Must say some have been a little bit firmer for my liking, but these, lovely. And of course it wouldn't be a proper walkthrough if we didn't have my usual ferret around all the nooks and crannies. So with a little bit of the that lovely squashy mattress lifted up, you can see there's one or two hatch spaces that we can investigate. Yep, a little bit more storage under there, and then this bigger one just here. There we go. In fact, there, just over there, that looks like the through hull transducer, Marina suite. But you can see yet more space if you wanted a bit of extra storage. And with the cushion swapped over, not finished yet, this one is even bigger. This lifts very easily because it's got a couple of extra gas struts on it. And you can see, look at that space, absolutely loads. Obviously you get access to some of the other systems of the boat, some heating vents there. There you go, that's just one of the outlets for the Webasto heating. But apart from obviously some cable runs and some heating runs, then obviously you've also got this storage space. And of course you've probably caught sight there of the black water dropout as well. Just a little quarter turn of that, which allows you to drop out your black water if your area allows such. Isn't that a good little storage space? Very nice too, that. And look at those, what a nice little finish on that. Tiny little switches there, very nice too. And of course, before you tell me I missed this little one in the corner, there you go. A little bit of some of your electrical stuff in there, hiding away. As we come back out of the second cabin, you can see as well that the steps area has also got some other little bits hidden away. Here's your battery isolators obviously, and also yet more little bit of storage space there. So let's have a look at the master cabin. You'll see just there, slid into the recess there, a little pocket door, its own lock and stuff. so that's quite good. Certainly our 895 offshore didn't utilise the pocket door system, and therefore, you know, in a fairly small space, as soon as you've got opening doors, you've got to negotiate. So I like that, do like that little pocket door, uses the space well. And as we come into that master cabin, look at that, isn't that nice? Really nice recessed lighting. This double opening hatch that we saw up on the bow there, of course it's got its blinds that come over there, or if you've got it on vent, then you've additionally got a bug screen there. Same little reading lights that we saw in the second cabin there, but then this one has also got the option of these overhead side lockers all the way around, so they're all opening spaces. There we go. Very nice. So absolutely loads of storage. Little open cubby hole there. This, of course, is a hanging space. Again, really good size. And a lot of space here as well, down on this sort of floor area in front of the bed. Likewise over this side, little seating area, and of course under the seat another little lifting hatch, giving you access to some more storage. Our switches there, together with power there, remember, can be converted to UK if you want that, and then obviously access to some of the other boats' electrical and water systems if you need to carry out any maintenance. Great place to store all your bits and pieces. Curtains coming all the way across those lovely hull windows, although if you're out on the water somewhere you might not want to cover up those amazing views out of there. This as well, you can see the join there, and that's because it does actually, with a grab hold of this and a pull backwards, you can see you add another, what, 150mm there to the size of the bed. Little infill cushion goes in there, and I have to say these ones as well are really nice and squishy too, liking those. You probably also spotted the hinges there. That's because, yep, it lifts and opens up this huge storage area, which of course has got a lot of our extra cushions for those bed spaces we were talking about, but it's also got some of your goodies there. Look at those bits and bobs you're going to get if you're the proud new owner of this NC33. All those goodies, and about 1 million instruction manuals, which will be hidden away. There it is, the Jeanneau bag, which we customarily look for in all of the films we do. There it is. So that'll be your free Jeanneau bag, packaged with all of that bedtime reading when you take possession and ownership of this lovely craft. What a good size space that is though, huge. Heating outlets just there, so you're certainly not going to be cold in here. Another one down there. Plenty of inlets if you're out on a winter's day. And of course, just tucked away there, those are your USB charging ports as well. Beautifully done. Really like that. Our 895 as well, the bed's sort of curved in, so you lost the sort of corners of it, whereas this one is full size, really good size. Good size master cabin, that good size bed, very nicely done. Look at that lovely view back up as well. Not of my Crocs, but of those lovely views beyond. Okay, finally, last but by no means least, let's have a look at the heads area. The heads area obviously offers, again, that nice, love this matte finish, really nice. Hot and cold water obviously, towel rail, little storage space at the back here. Got some power up there as well. That's nice, and a little chrome front on the shelves. But then of course what you'll notice here is that this door completely can close over, so that when it's in shower mode, obviously with the tap head there which comes up and fits onto this, when you're in shower mode, hot and cold obviously down there, shower mode, you can shut yourself away in that shower cubicle, draining out through the floor there, and of course then once you're finished you've got another area then where you can step out, which is then still dry before you have to head out back into your nice carpeted saloon area and cabin area. Electric toilet obviously in here, electric flush, and indeed fresh water as well. So all mod cons when it comes to boat toilets. But in terms of what they've packed into here and how they've set out the space, it is really impressive. Having done a good walk through of the 1095, as Nikki was saying earlier, there's definitely the layout in this just feels as though it's a bit more spacious. Really use the space well. Love it. There's your light switching again for in here, and of course a gauge for your black water tank just there. And of course, as you may or may not have seen, there are some other films from Burton Waters from some of their stock on the channel. Mary Fisher 605, Series 1 795, one or two other bits. So if you can't see them yet, then keep a track of the channel. Of course, we'd love you to subscribe to our channel so that you get those notifications of when those films go up. But there's plenty on the channel as well, that all things Jeanneau, that will give you a good idea of the range of these fabulous boats. And our sincere thanks, of course, to Adam Cox and to Neil and to Matt, who have allowed us to have a look through some of these wonderful Jeanneau boats here at Burton Waters in both Ipswich, where we are in this lovely spot today, or indeed at up in Lincoln, where you may have seen some of one or two other films come from. So do check out some of those other films, and also keep an eye on the channel for this, for when it's unwrapped. Don't forget, set those notifications so that you don't miss that film. Before you all ask in the comments, the retail price of this particular one at Burton Waters is $329,950, but it of course does include all of those extras that we've perhaps touched on during the tour here. In fact in total it's around about £60,000 worth of extras that this has been loaded up with here, not least of which of course was that lovely electric sunroof, the diesel heating, the chain counter, the teak table, the TV fit here with that aerial up on the roof, the joystick control, obviously the sun canopy that went all round the back here, zippable to enclose it, and you know, other bits and pieces. So it is a well loaded up boat, fully loaded NC33, and I'm sure Neil and the team here at Ipswich would be more than happy to give you more information about it, or indeed send some to you, and of course show you up and close and around this amazing boat if you were to visit Ipswich.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the film, guys. What an incredible boat. Thoroughly enjoyed.
That was very, very nice.
Thoroughly enjoyed looking through that.
Yes.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed it too.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe. It's free. So subscription, notifications on, and you'll know when our next film from Burton Waters comes out. Thanks ever so much, guys. Bye now.